Hello, and welcome to Drawing with STEAM with Mrs. Ramirez. Today, we are going to do a directed drawing to teach you how to draw your adorable mascot, the Gator. We're going to do step-by-step instructions, so make sure you have your paper and pencil, and then we'll be using crayons when we're all done, okay? So before we get started, one little reminder. When we're drawing, we want to draw light until it's right. We are going to be doing some erasing of some of the lines we make today. So I want to make sure that you're drawing very lightly so that when you erase those pencil marks later, you will not see them on your paper. Okay? All right, so here we go. Get your piece of paper and your pencil, and we are going to start with a square. And I'm going to put the square off to the right side of my paper. Okay, this is going to be the gator's head. Okay, and I am going to be erasing a lot of the square later, so you want to make sure that that's really light. Okay, then the next step is off the front here, we're going to draw his mouth. So off the bottom, straight line, and then it's going to curve up a little bit, just like that. And then a little above the halfway point on this line, you're going to draw a sort of a curved line that comes up, and then it's going to go in front of the line you just drew. And then we're going to do kind of like the jaw right here. So it's going to come in and then curve up into kind of a smile. He's going to be a friendly gator. Okay, and we're going to give him two eyes and cute little eyebrows. I like to make my characters look like they're happy by giving them eyebrows that look like this. If you wanted a mean gator, you would draw the eyebrows pointing down in the middle, because then he would look unhappy. But I like a cute gator. Okay, then we're going to draw the body. So we're going to come back here, not quite halfway off the square. It's just about maybe a third of the way. And we're going to curve our line up and then down. This is his body, and then we're going to curve it up for his tail. Okay, so go ahead and make that line. Now, gators don't necessarily have super pointy tails, so we're going to kind of curve it and then bring it back down. And you can see it's getting a little fatter down here towards the body. Okay, and then we're going to do just a straight curved line like this and come up on the bottom of our square. Okay. Now we're going to do the two legs that are closest to us. They're going to overlap the bottom body line that we just drew, but that's okay because we're going to erase it when we're done. So we're going to start with his back leg. We're going to do two straight lines that come down, and then his back leg, I'm going to make his toes kind of pointing back like that. So I'm going to give him 3 toes and then connect to his leg. And then the front leg, I'm going to do the same thing, 2 straight lines coming down, but I want his toes to go to the front up here. So 3 toes, and then connect to that back leg. Okay. Now he does have 2 more legs in the back. They're just going to be different shapes. So here I'm going to come down, not quite the same distance. We're just going to do one little kind of toe, and then that leg is going to disappear behind the body. And the same thing up here. I'm actually going to bring it down, one little toe, and then make that leg there. All right. Now we're going to give him a little belly, and his belly is going to go from one leg to the other. So we're going to just arch up and then arch back down like that. And if you need to make those legs go a little bit higher, that's okay. And I'm going to give him some curved lines on his belly. If you make these lines a little curved, then it looks like he's actually got a curved belly instead of just being a flat drawing. And then the last thing we're going to add are going to be his triangles on his back, his hard ridges. So they're just triangles, and you can go all the way down his back. And then as you get to the back, they're gonna get smaller. Okay, a couple more details to make our gator look a little more realistic. I'm gonna give him some scales here on his body. And then I am also going to add some ridges here on his nose. And he needs a nose. We need to give him a nose. So you're gonna make like an M shape. The first M is gonna come up and stop on that line. And then the second arch is going to go up to that line as well. Okay, so we have everything drawn. Now what we're going to do is some erasing. So we're going to erase this line here of the square. And if you, like I just erased his smile a little bit, that's okay, I can just draw it back. Okay, we're going to erase this part of the square here where his neck meets his body. And then here we're going to erase the line across his front leg on our side and then his back leg on our side. Okay, so now that we have got all our parts erased, now comes the fun coloring part. If you have crayons or colored pencils or markers, you may use whatever you'd like for this. Usually I like to outline my drawing with black marker before I start, but for today I'm just going to go ahead and start coloring. So for my gator, I'm going to use 2 different shades of green, and I know gators are super dark, so I don't want to use anything really bright. So I'm going to use, these twistables don't have actual color names on them, but I'm using like an olive and a regular green. Okay, so I'm going to start with my regular green and I'm going to start with my olive green, and I'm going to do my outlining. So I'm going to just go over my pencil marks that I made nice and dark so that when I color they stand out. If you don't have an olive green, then just use your regular green. And it's your drawing. You can, oh, I see 2 more lines we need to erase. Oops. Over here by his nose. We don't want those 2 pencil lines there. Okay, and actually with my black crayon, I'm going to just really quickly give him a little nostril, and then I'm going to color his eyes and his eyebrows black. Okay, and then I'm going to get back to my outlining. So just be careful when you're outlining, make sure that you stick to your pencil lines. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. We will color over it and you won't even be able to tell anyway. Unless you're using marker. Then you might be able to tell. But that's okay. Just get a new piece of paper and watch the video again. Okay. Almost done. All right, so alligators, their belly is actually a really light color. So I'm not gonna color that belly under here green. I'm gonna color that like a tan color. So I'm gonna go over those lines with that tan, or like a brown. If you just have brown, then just color it lightly. You don't have to do it super dark. All right, so there's the belly of my gator. I'm gonna go back and start coloring in. I'm gonna do the regular green first, and then I'm gonna go back over him with the olive green where I want him to be a little bit darker. So I'm just gonna color in his body. And you can tell I'm not pushing too hard because I want to see the outline that I just finished doing. And if you color too hard over like this part, you wouldn't be able to see his cute smile and the ridges on his nose. So just color lightly. When you're coloring, you always want to color light first because you can always add color. If you color too dark first, you can't ever take color away unless you have color pencils with an eraser. Okay, so the ridges on his back are going to be the darkest part of him. So I'm going to color those with green, and then I probably am going to go over them with a little bit of black as well because I want them to be dark. Okay, so that's my normal green. I'm going to come back with my olive green, and I'm going to just give like a shading on the top because remember, they are different colors. They're dark on the top so that when they're swimming in the water, they kind of blend in with the dark murky water that they live in. And then on the bottom, they're kind of light, so that way things swimming below them, when they look up, they don't see them because they are blending into the sunshine. Kind of the same thing that sharks do. Sharks have a light colored belly so that when fish or things are looking up, they don't see them. Okay, so can you see that it's a little darker on top? I just did the olive color up here, all along the top of him and up on his head too. Okay, now I'm going to go over the ridges, and I'm going to push a little bit harder because I want them to be darker. All right. I actually like that color. I don't think I'm going to go back over them to make them darker. I'm not going to go over them with a black. Just going to leave it like that. Okay, and voila, there is my adorable gator. Now, if you want to draw it in its surroundings, remember gators live near the water. I'm going to show you my final draft picture that I've already done. So they live near the water. They like the mud. And I drew mine in the savannah in Africa because that's the only place I've seen them in Florida too, but also tall grass in Florida. So they like to hide in the tall grass by the water with the mud. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had fun drawing your gator. Bye.